everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we are just about set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. A few moments ago, they raised the 12th man banner, and this place, as usual, rocking and rolling. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, Russell Wilson, coming out here. And while the MVP award looks like it will be Lamar Jackson's, not Russell Wilson's, he had a heck of a season. Over 4,000 yards for the third time, 31 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions. And CD, while we saw the emergence of DK Metcalf late in the year, does Russell Wilson need more surrounding him firepower-wise offensively?
They certainly do, and I think the Seattle will work to get that. And if you're looking at the receiver position and you're looking at the draft, it's a really deep wide receiver class for 2020. So they'll have opportunities there. I think they'll just continue to fortify. They're going to want to get their running backs back. They had a couple that got dinged at the end of the year, and Chris Carson and Rashad Penny. But they get back to being Seattle that way, running the heck out of it and throwing to those big wide receivers. They feel pretty good about what Dangerous can give them at the quarterback position. And how about what he did at the Pro Bowl?
That was
neat. Right? He was voted the starter. Looked at Drew Brees and said, hey, you're Drew Brees. You should start ahead of me, and gave up his position. Very cool.
13 yards on the game's opening play. They'll run on first down. Carson. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Wilson. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's 3rd and short. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, Upati.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
To throw is Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. Tyler Lockett there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. There he goes right side. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
All right, we're talking new football here. We're talking new models, new paradigms, new ways of looking at things. They score, line up for the PAT, fake it, and go up 8-0. I'm kind of at a loss here because if I'm going to go for 2, I'm going to ask him to put the ball in the 2-yard line and bring my offense out.
Exactly. Opening drive of the game, faking it is bold enough from the 15. That's quite another thing.
I know a lot of people fall back on analytics, but still, I think that person will tell you, put your offense in and go from the 2, not from the 15.
Still got it, though.
Yes, they did. Give them credit.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. first go-around on offense for Aaron Rodgers and company. Aaron Rodgers led the Packers to another great year, 13 wins, trip to the NFC Championship. That second Super Bowl will elude him another season, however. And now you hate to do it, but it has to be said. He's going to turn 37 during the 2020 season. Now, clearly, look, he's not ready for a rocking chair, but any concern there age-wise on your part?
The crazy part about this is we now say 37, and we don't shudder right away. You remember when you said 37? Who's got a 37-year-old quarterback? You guys better be getting someone else ready. Now we're saying, can he play another 3 years? Can he play another 4 years? And I think that the way that he's playing and the shape that he keeps himself in and as big a competitor, I think that he's got that opportunity. And what I liked was after the game in San Francisco, he immediately was talking about next season. You know, this guy really burns to win another Super Bowl title. And by the way, 26 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Obviously, he can still play.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. That's caught by Geronimo Allison. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
It's tough to be an offensive lineman in Green Bay because their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, knows how to keep plays alive and often extends them for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. But David Bakhtiari, his left tackle, he does it as well as anyone could ever expect. Excellent footwork, knows that the plays are going to stay alive for a long time. Often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 23. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys didn't come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. 3rd down here. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
So we had the touchdown and 2-point conversion to start the game. At least they're able to come back and get 3 on the board for their opening drive.
Yeah, most coaches will always say, just give me something on the opening drive. Anything you can put up on the board, you feel better about things. And in this case, I like the fact that they resisted the urge to try and match them big because just get the points on the board. You're okay, even though they put 8 on you to begin with.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 1 quarter in the books, 8-3 our score. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better than it hits the ground, instead going to an opposite color jersey.
First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. They run it with Carson. Refusing to go down. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
Well, without a doubt, all credit's got to go to the runner. Found his way into the end zone, but the defensive guys just not wrapping up well when they try to tackle it.
And that's the thing. You've got to wrap up. A lot of times these days you see guys, they just want to go as hard as they can and throw their body at somebody. That's not old school football, though.
No, old school football is fundamentals. Wrapping up, blocking your hands, and trying to get him on the ground.
Myers connects on the PAT, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Let's switch gears, talk about Matt LaFleur and what he did in his first season as Green Bay comes back out here, Charles. 13-3, and really, by all accounts, exceeding expectations. A win over Seattle in the divisional round, and then that 49er run game, and Raheem Mostert did them in. But where do they go from here looking forward to Matt LaFleur's second season?
Yeah, can you believe 13-3 probably won't win Coach of the Year?
I know, right?
No, John Harbaugh in Baltimore, Kyle Shanahan getting to the Super Bowl with San Francisco. But still, as you said, an incredible first year for a rookie head coach. I think where they go from here is this. Continue to fortify the offensive line because Brian Bulaga's been there for a while, right tackle. I think on the defensive front, they've got to get some more players there because the run game, as you mentioned, Raheem Mostert just ran them out of town on that one. And I think they've got to continue to find receivers for Aaron Rodgers. Because right now, it's Devontae Adams, the tight ends, up and down. The second receiver, third receiver, up and down. Aaron Jones out of the backfield is probably their most reliable second receiver, so they've got to fix that. If so, this team will continue to have success and continue to contend for Super Bowls.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he works free. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And that's about the easiest decline call you'll ever have right there.
Well, it leads me to one of my pet peeves, and maybe peeves is too strong of a word. But if you're going to jump off sides, finish the play. Make sure the play ends. Don't jump off sides and stop. Because you see the net result here. If you go ahead and finish the play, you don't give up that type of yardage.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. On the delay, Jones. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. But a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep, the former All-Pro Tyler Lockett. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
Let's go!
Chris Carson trotting back out there, and he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Here's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. A second broken tackle. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's good for 28 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They'll run with Penny. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. So we come upon halftime, and what's 8? You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Rodgers. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he's taken down inside the red zone past the Seattle 15. Rodgers to his tight end Graham on a big one. 55 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. Give them maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. On 2nd and 9. Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Rodgers to Allison. Good for a Green Bay first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. Mercedes Lewis there to make the grab as his guys are back within a single score. So they go play action, 3 tight ends out there in the heavy set.
Well, they showed everything that suggested running play. Just what you mentioned, 3 tight ends, heavy formation, able to go play action off of it, because if you're a defender, you're thinking it's a running play with that much beef on the field.
But they passed it, and they got 6 out of it. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And he knocks it through. That makes it a 5-point ball game. It's 15-10 now. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And the result, a Green Bay score. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll begin the drive with Carson. Wiggles free. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. Well, hey, CD, we talked about some of the guys that were going into the Hall of Fame, the 15 that we already know. But of the more modern-day players that are finalists, who do you think's going to get in?
That is really, really difficult. I'm glad you asked, because it gives us a chance to kick it around just a little bit. Tony Baselli, the left tackle, a lot of people have not put him in, I think, due to longevity. But when he played, he was as good as it got. I mean, the best in the game. I think it's his time. I think he's going to find his way in, even though there's a backlog of offensive linemen like Steve Hutchinson's available. Alan Faneca's available. If you have to pick a safety out of this crew of Leroy Butler, Steve Atwater, John Lynch, Troy Polamalu, good luck on that one, although I think Polamalu is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I think he gets in. I think Edgerrin James, the running back, it's his time. He should have been in a while ago as far as I'm concerned. It's time for him to go ahead and get his due and get in. And if you're a receiver, good luck. Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Reggie Wayne, Who do you pick out of that crew? So I think a few guys who are deserving will get overlooked again, like a Sam Mills, a linebacker, or a Zach Thomas. But all in all, it's going to be a very strong class.
And we will find out who the 5 are that will go into Canton with the other 15 the night before the Super Bowl on Saturday. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm not quite sure how he wasn't able to hold on to that one in the end zone. A great opportunity.
And look at this. It's a fake. He's still fighting forward. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. The deception there pays off to perfection. 14 yards on the fake punt and a first down. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. He's got the tight end, Vanette. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
On 1st down, it's Carson. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here's Carson. And he is is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Now Myers for the extra point. Oh, it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Throwing is Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now it's Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. The Packers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And Adams has it, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now he'll let this one go. Deep left sideline. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that one will be accepted. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers going to throw again. Complete to Jones. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. Rodgers again now. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to off.
And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line with a sack at Ziggy Ansah. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now. 3rd and goal. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. To throw is Rodgers. A dump underneath to Jones. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. Rodgers going to throw. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. 4 yards on the touchdown grab as his guys are back within a single score.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Now it's Carson. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Wilson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. On 2nd down, it's Carson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. They run again with Carson. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. So the victory here for Seattle. And you look back over the score sheet. Interesting. A very clean game. No turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.